Hey, my name's Anthony Fick, and welcome to the Diamond Dialogue podcast. I am high school principal at Diamond. I've got Mason Cook, next year's football coach and weights teacher, in on the couch to kind of talk about / get to know him a little bit better. So, Mason, why don't you, just introduce yourself, tell us a little bit about your background and where you're coming from.
So my name is Mason Cook. Like Mr. Ficken said, I graduated from Webb City High School in 2016. Right out of high school, went to the Missouri University of Science and Technology in Rolla. I studied chemical engineering there for a year and a half, played football while I was there. After that, transferred to Pittsburgh State, where I got my bachelor's degree in plastics engineering technology. Towards my senior year was the COVID year, so instead of really getting a final senior season, I just decided to see if I could help out and coach and be a part of that. And I tell you what, it just being able to be a part of it and be on the coaching side of things, it was something I really fell in love in. I was like, I got to find a way to do this.
Oh, absolutely.
So decided to go ahead and get my master's degree in technology and engineering education.
So science guy?
Science guy, big math and science guy. Good with numbers, I think, for the most part.
Yeah.
So went ahead and started working towards that. And while I was doing that, I applied for a junior high football position at Carl Junction and got really, really lucky. They wanted me to jump up to the high school. And so that's what I did and kind of helped me get through grad school. And as far as my family side, I have a wife. Her name's Aubrey. She's been my high school sweetheart. She's been my rock for a long, long time. One of my favorite people in the world just to be around. And she's currently expecting with our first twin.
Oh, that's exciting.
Girls.
Twins.
So twin
Nothing
girls.
like getting two. First time.
Right off the jump. But very, very excited for everything. I mean, it's one of those that there's a lot of big changes kind of coming this way, and it's one of those where we put our heads down together and we just keep going and working together.
Sure. So I know coming from Webb, I mean, it sounds like you're part of a winning culture or have been in the past. Coach Roderick, well-renowned. Mm-hmm. So what are some of the aspects of, your past you hope to bring over into Diamond and instill among our kids?
One of my biggest philosophies is having a group of kids that work well together. And what I mean by that is just their ability to find common ground and find common reasoning behind a goal. That was something that no matter who it was, whether it was an older guy, a younger guy, we all strive towards the same goal, and that was something that was really awesome to watch.
Yeah.
So being able to bring that over and then really accountability and toughness. Especially small school football, you have to be tough because you're going to be asked to do a lot of different things.
Yeah, football's tough.
Football's tough in general. We're going to ask you to be, good off the field. We're going to ask you to be good in the weight room. We're going to be ask you to be good in the classroom. So just all those aspects, I think, kind of create a culture that is deemed tough.
Yeah.
And those are things that I've seen that have worked really well, and those are things that I want to implement as going forward.
Great. And I mean, just a second ago, you talked about the weight room and coming in and being a weights teacher. I know you've got a heavily science background, but, walk us through, what's the weight room going to look like for Coach Mason? Coach Cook, sorry.
No, that's fine. So the big thing is I want our kids to get stronger. Obviously, in the weight room, that's, working on a lot of the power lifts type stuff, power clean, squat, bench press, but being able to mix in auxiliaries. That way we're really hitting all the different muscle groups, and we're continuing to break those down to build them back up, and then really pushing the point of nutrition and sleep. High school kids don't typically always get a lot of sleep.
Yeah, their clock's off. Yeah, for sure. I remember those days.
Yep, I know. I remember them as well. But really pushing them the importance of, hey, when we break down those muscles, it's important that you get appropriate nutrition in, as well as enough sleep so you can build them back up.
Yeah, and I think one of the things that Diamond specifically is trying to be intentional with moving forward is involving our youth programs and our middle school kids and kind of bringing them under the umbrella of, our head coaches and kind of help steering those programs. So maybe walk us through how you foresee that playing out over time, either through community nights or how you plan envisioning bringing together the community to help support that.
So one thing, and this is something me and Coach Mosier had talked a lot about, was having a community night, a pride night. I want to say I believe it's the weekend before the Jamboree. I want to say it's that Saturday. I can't think of the day exactly. But where we have a volleyball scrimmage, we have, we celebrate the cross country kids. And then to kind of top it all off, we have the football scrimmage that night, kind of the black and gold scrimmage.
Yeah.
So it's just something like that. Another way I want to implement is having Thursday night dinners. I believe that they did that last year, but really getting a chance to get the moms involved with football as well.
Yes. Moms love to feed their kids.
Oh, man. That was something that I've seen be a heavily sought after thing to do in a football town. So, having the moms and having them be there and kind of get a chance to be around their kids and also be around the staff and be around the football teams, I think is big. As far as youth football, I want to be heavily involved as far as being there. I want those kids to see me. That again, coming from a culture that I've seen do that, I think it's vitally important to our success. Watching kids that try to mimic as much as they can what we're doing at the high school level.
Yeah.
From the time they're in third grade through senior year, it makes a world of difference.
Oh, for sure. And I know one of the appealing things about bringing you on specifically was the growth potential that we saw in you as a coach, specifically in Diamond, and hopefully being able to retain you to stay here and help to keep the program going with our kids. And I know I'm very excited. So, kind of in closing, what is, if anything, that you want to let the community know about you, Mason Cook, either football, you as a man, you as a teacher? Any kind of closing thoughts to kind of wrap us up for today?
The first thing I would say is that I'm always going to care about my students and my student athletes. As a weights coach, it's not going to be just football players. I'm going to have, as I hope, as many high school kids as I possibly can in the weight room, and just really try to make an impact on their lives that aren't necessarily, for the kids that aren't necessarily on the football team. So just showing them that I care, and then building that trust with them, finding common ground on things. And then for me, I'm just, I want to be as good as I can. I understand that I'm not perfect, but I'm always striving to be better than I was the day before.
Yeah.
And then also I'm very passionate and have a high amount of energy that I think I bring to any position. So those are probably the three main things I want the community to know about me.
Yeah, well, I know just in my short time that I've gotten to spend with you, both in the interview process and then really sitting on the couch, really this is my first time kind of getting the opportunity to sit with Mason and talk, is you do have a sense of positive energy that I think is going to be infectious to our students in the community. And I know that I'm excited, as well as, Dr. Wyatt, our superintendent, who had an opportunity to kind of get to know you a little bit at the board meeting the other night. We're really just excited for you to hit the ground running and bring some of those winning values into Diamond. So
Yep, that's my goal.
awesome. Well, hey, again, Anthony Ficken, Diamond High School principal, Mason Cook, new next year's football coach, as well as weights teacher. We appreciate having you guys and cannot wait for next season to get started. Peace.
See you guys.